We have an awesome show for you guys today.
The greatest event of all time.
Good news for the sport.
Welcome to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We're in the Stressless studio. And John, tell us about that promotional code for Stressless.
Yeah, so if you go to centerlinedistribution.net, you put in the promo code JR24, that's going to get you guys 20% off of all of your Stressless products, which I guess is stressless. So it's this stuff right here.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
It is season 5, episode 3. We're at 101
Yep.
episodes. Crazy. We're going to have a big party.
March 24th, which is a Sunday because horse people get Monday off. We're going to do it here at the farm. Joel's going to get us some promotional stuff. We're going to put it out there. We're going to have it so that people need to RSVP, so we know how many people might show up. Yeah. Uh-huh. Just please, if you want to come, we'd love to have all you guys. We want to have a great time. We got some awesome speakers, and we're going to have great music.
And a surprise visitor.
Oh, okay. That's awesome.
I'll tell you later.
Okay, cool. I'm excited about that. I don't even know that surprise. But anyway, it'll be a great time, so we're excited about that. Rick, I feel like this could be one of the greatest shows that we've ever had because we have amazing guests here. Mm-hmm. We've got Lucinda Green and William Fox-Pitt, who have signed some things for you guys. We have a couple of mugs here. We've got William Fox-Pitt and Lucinda Green. I'm not sure if she actually signed this one.
She did sign it.
No, she only signed one. We'll take this up. So they're both going to have both of their autographs on them.
They're both signing the same one. Neither did William.
Okay, so they're going to have 2 signatures on each cup.
I got you. This one has, okay.
Right, so each cup is going to have both of their signatures. And if you guys go on to the YouTube channel, the John and Rick Show YouTube, watch the show and comment on there. And what are we going to have them talk about?
Well, what you're going to learn is with William Fox-Pitt and Lucinda Green on this show, we're talking about our sport and how they feel it's diminishing from the sport that they love.
Right.
And so they're talking about how to fix our sport or how we should fight for our sport. So we want them to comment on that.
So comment on there about the Olympic format for LA 2028 specifically, how it's changing, and your thoughts on that. Everybody who makes a comment on this show, we're going to take your names, we're going to put them into a hat, and then we're going to draw out 2 people who win these stressless mugs with Lucinda Green and William Fox-Pitt's signature on there. They're very motivational cups, and you can drink your coffee and think of the legends of the sport.
And John, it's really cool having them come onto the show and talk about the sport that they love. And I've been spending, as you have, the last couple of days with Lucinda Green, which has been a pleasure.
Absolutely.
She comes over, stays with Briggs and myself, and we have a fun time with her. Then we come and do a clinic that you and Jen graciously let us use, Hauling Eventing's Willow Farm South, right?
Yeah, and then I realized now I have to pay you for my spot. I forgot about that, so I apologize. I'll get that to you before the end of the day.
No worries. If you could write that down for me so he doesn't forget.
Yeah, no, I will. Somebody will have to remind me again.
No worries. Well, the good thing is that with you doing it, we were able to make sure that one of your spots was paid for.
Yeah, that was awesome. It's great.
And having Lucinda, she's got a cross-country mind, doesn't she? Yeah. I mean, and she really loves you.
She's amazing. I love her too.
Because you kind of were there at 18, and now, I don't know, is that 30 years?
Let's not talk. Why do you have to be that
30
way?
years, John.
It's not been 30 years.
It's actually 29 because you're 47. But still, that's a long span of time, right?
I hate you.
And she used to say how pretty you used to ride, all like leaning forward.
I'm still very pretty.
She says that you look really like a strong man up there with your seat, and you're like driving down to the
but in a pretty way, right?
In a pretty way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank goodness for that. I want to be pretty.
But it's exciting to have them, and I know William Fox-Pitt is over with Sarah. I think she was at Cosmoplix, right? Is that where she was doing that, or
I think he was teaching the clinic at Barnstable. Mm-hmm. I think that's right.
And then I think he's doing something with Sarah in the morning, maybe.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. But how amazing is it to live?
To have 2 of them.
Yeah, and I think we've got Bettina in town as well, and I think Jonelle's in town.
I mean,
as well.
it's crazy.
So just like, this is the place to be.
It is. And I think when we go through and talk about, you kind of came up with these facts, and I think we can let people go on and listen to how many Burley wins, how many badminton wins, and everything. I mean, having those two is incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think there's an announcement that William's going to make that I heard when he was coming in, that he might make this announcement of what's happening for him this spring.
Yeah, he's got a big season planned.
Yep.
So with that said, maybe we just get to it.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right.
We're boring you. Let's bring down the good people.
I mean, this show is all about William Fox-Pitt and Lucinda Green.
We got to go to it.
Let's take a break.
Let's do it.
And we're going to be right back here in like, what, a minute and a half, 2 minutes. So just check in with some of our sponsors.
Oh my gosh, look how tall he is.
Yeah, he is a tall dude. Thank you to Horse Trailer Pros for sponsoring the show. 5 years they've done it. They have been amazing. So we really appreciate Matt and the team over there at Horse Trailer Pros. You guys are amazing. And if you guys have any issues with any of your trailers, any maintenance that needs to be done, Horse Trailer Pros is the place to go. So with that said, let's take a break and we will be right back.
Let's go.
Want to advertise on the John and Rick Show? Contact John at 352-875-8622
Or call Rick at 850-879-2649.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
Aero helmets represent real change for equestrian helmets, offering patented new technology and an unparalleled level of safety testing. It is the only Snell-certified helmet with MIPS on the market. Aero visors are interchangeable, meaning you can wear your Aero 3 ways, with a formal visor, a sun visor, and as a skull cap. Our shimmable liner means you can customize the fit for your head and your hairstyle. Upgrade to Aero today.
Hey, Rick here. Do you have a horse suffering from poor performance, anxiety and fear, low appetite, agitation, or nervousness? Stress Less can help. Stress Less, the hot horse remedy, is veterinarian-developed, all-natural formula that promotes calmness, focus, and mood balance in horses experiencing stress related to training, showing, racing, stall rest, and travel. This equine supplement encourages calmness, focus, and mood balance without affecting the motor skills or energy levels of your horse. It promotes a more willing and balanced temperament with no drowsiness or impaired function, resulting in increased focus, a calm mind, and a happier horse and rider. Try Stress Less today and see for yourself why we think Stress Less is the best hot horse remedy you will find. Check us out at centerlinedistribution.net and on Facebook and Instagram as Stress Less Horse Supplement.
Hey, it's John here. I just want to let you guys know I got back from schooling at Magnolia Sands Farm here in Ocala, Florida. Their cross-country field is perfectly suited for a first outing on a young horse or schooling your upper-level horse. Magnolia Sands offers over 110 jumps ranging from starter to intermediate, plus multiple banks, ditches, and waters. They're constantly updating their courses and have even added new ditches and a starter ditch wall. Conveniently located in Northeast Ocala, Magnolia Sands has made it easy for riders and trainers with online waivers, Venmo, and PayPal, and even offer a golf cart for guests. MagnoliaSandsFarm.com.
Equibrew, now available in the USA. It's a live probiotic that you feed daily to your horses. The live microbes go into your horse's gut and cleans up the gut wall, creating a healthy gut system.
Equibrew is an essential part of my feeding program. My horses love to eat it, and it does a really good job of promoting gut health and also good behavior and great performances.
It's something I recommend for all of your horses, no matter what they do in their careers.
It's so affordable, I can use it on all of my horses in the barn, not just my top horses.
Order EquiBrew today by going to brickfieldnutrition.com or calling 850-879-2649.
Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We're here in the Stress Less studio. It is our 101st episode.
Can you believe it?
It's amazing. Wow. And we are thrilled to be joined by, two absolute legends in the sport, William Fox-Pitt and Lucinda Green. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
And I was actually, as I was doing my show prep, I learned something new about you, William.
What?
It's William Speed Lane, Fox-Pitt, which seems like as you're in Florida right now, you fit in super well with the South. So do you have like NASCAR in your family? Do you know NASCAR?
What? No.
It's like race cars where they only turn left. And they tend to drink stuff like Bud Light.
Familiar. Yeah. No, I've got a stupid name, but you're enjoying it far too much.
I love it. It's great. I think it's an awesome name. I'm jealous, to be honest. So you're both here. You're both teaching.
We certainly are.
Yeah. So
separately.
We're competing against each other. I'm nabbing her clients and she's nabbing mine.
Well, perfect. And I think
luckily there's enough to go right.
It's very interesting though. John brought something up to me, and I don't know if y'all know this. I'm sure you do. You've won how many badmintons?
Guess.
6.
Very good.
How many Burleys?
6.
How many badmintons have you won?
Well, you just told me.
Burleys.
Oh, only 2.
How many badmintons have you won?
Only 2.
That's amazing!
Yeah.
How did you know that? How did you know that?
I know things.
You're so sad.
I got to tell you guys, it didn't take a lot of research. It was like 5 minutes while I was jumping in the shower, and boom, I had it.
Well, I think she's the lucky one, so I've got a lot to do, but I think 6 badmintons, that won't be repeated, will it?
6 Burley seems pretty tough.
No, people are sniffing around. There's been a few 4s and 5s.
For my 2 pence worth, Burley is a way more difficult course to ride than badminton because of the terrain. There's probably, in my day, when the 14-minute cross country, there was something like 10 rises. And it's a much more difficult course to ride. So to win that 6 times, I take my hat off to you.
It's a harder course to ride, but it's an easier course to win.
Do you think?
What does that mean?
Well, because people make such a mess of it.
Yeah, because it suited me.
Well, it was pretty damned impressive.
I won't be there again.
Do you think not?
No.
What about that nice mare that did so well at Maryland?
She should have a go, but I don't know. Who knows?
Do you think maybe she's more badminton than Bernie?
Yeah, I'm going to go badminton. I think
Great.
I'm just a bit old.
No. You're only as old and all that.
I feel ancient.
Do you? Is your body cracking up?
Oh, no, my body's good. No, my body's good, but I think I've been doing it a long time.
Yeah, but you just talked yourself into believing you're old. You're not old.
Anyway.
You rode around Maryland 5-star.
In Maryland 5-star, I was the second oldest person in the competition. I was horrified.
Just remember, you rode an unbelievable round on a mare that is a good mare, but she's not the best
very
thing
kind.
No,
I had a good round, but it doesn't stop me being old.
You can talk yourself into anything, William. You're off your arse and go to badminton.
I might come to my senses one day. I'm going to badminton. I'm excited. And then, who knows?
So it brings up a good topic when you're talking about, and neither one of you are old, and this one especially, I can't even keep up with her.
No one can.
But William, you were talking today, because y'all are here doing clinics in Ocala, and I asked you, what is it physical or is it mental when you're teaching? And you were talking to me, what is it that prepares you? It's a lot. Y'all do a lot. You're on all day long, and you do it several days in a row. So for you, what's your biggest prep?
Yeah, my biggest prep is you've got your clients. Everyone is there. Everyone wants something from you. You're doing a job. You are very much wanting to give some information that is useful. So you feel under pressure to have worked something out. I'm very good with the system. I have a very good plan. I'm very systematic, and I think I am with my riding. So I'm very lucky. I don't take a bit of this and a bit of that and give it a go. I have a very clear idea, and I know from that system that I will be able to give people something. Maybe not always enough, but everyone can leave with something. That's my goal. I always say in the lesson, if you leave this lesson and you've learnt one thing, I've done my job, because learning and improving in the sport is such a puzzle. You have lots of pieces come together to make that puzzle, and you take something from there, and you take something from there, and you take something from last week, and you all bring it in to make your own puzzle. So I'm offering that, and I'm very confident with what I feel I can offer. And it is exhausting because you really want to do your job. You're really worrying about lots of people at the same time. You've got 5 in a lesson, 4 in a lesson. You've got to remember their names. That's a challenge in itself. You might have seen the horse before. You need to remember that you maybe did see him 2 years ago. You can't remember whether you were quite sure. How was he? Was he fatter, thinner, greyer, dark? You just don't always quite know, but you sort of need to know. So that is quite a challenge. I love all that. I love the American people. They're such fun to teach, and great venues to be at, and it makes all the difference. And just I've done a few days, and I got a few more.
There you go. Lucinda, yours biggest challenge? I'm with you a lot, and you teach really.
My biggest challenge is John, actually.
Oh, come on.
I think you need to expand on that.
It's been so much fun, actually, because John, I had as, I think you were 18 in Wisconsin.
That's right, in Wisconsin.
You were streets above anybody else I had in that clinic. You were something very special, a very, very natural, but just something that I really admired. And I don't often remember from one year to the next, but I never forgot him. And I don't know that I saw you again for years and years. We might have had 2 years in a row at Wisconsin.
Yep.
But I never forgot you. And then you sort of turned up maybe 20, 30 years later. And I can't remember what happened in between. Maybe you can. But I came here and you were brave enough to have a lesson with me. Mm-hmm. And I said, John,
where have you been?
Where have you been? Exactly. And what's happened in the meantime? And he had this wonderful soft style of being that little bit forward seat, almost exaggerated, but he certainly wasn't in the sort of seat that I feel I have to have, because otherwise I'm going to fall off, which is what I call ready for trouble seat.
That's because I grew up doing hunters. You grew up hunting.
Hunting. You see, that I don't think I ever cottoned on that you grew up doing hunters, where you're taught that. But anyhow, the really extraordinary thing is that I would have thought he would have just sort of not tried very hard, but he tried so hard, and he found another balance that he uses when he feels he needs it, and other times you're happy in your forward seat. And it's been so much of a pleasure for me just to find you at 18 and then 47 back again.
Did you remember his name?
Do you know, the strange thing is, yes, that's how much of an
Come on,
impression
Speedlane,
he made on me when I first saw him at 18. So it's just rather a lovely story, and there's been an awful lot of wonderful riders that have fitted in between John at 18 and John at 47, but it's just amazing, isn't it?
Yeah,
how long
it's
we've
been a long
been
time.
roughly at it.
I think that's cool stories, how you connect and do things together. William, are you going from Ocala to Aiken?
Going up to Aiken tomorrow, yeah.
Where are you going now?
I'm thinking of going
You're
the
going
same
to Aiken
place.
as well, aren't you?
What
Yeah.
flight are you on?
I have no idea.
I'm not leaving
Rhonda
until
has
the
organised it.
evening.
No, I'm doing a bit of work in the morning at Sarah's.
Oh, okay, so you might
and
come the same
I'm
flight.
going in the evening.
Are you going to Augusta? You've no idea.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
Okay, don't worry.
You guys might want to organize with like
You're
a
probably on the
travel
same
agent.
flight.
I just get told. Are
Love
you
it.
doing the telly? I'm not riding this year. I decided that
No, I'm not even going to it.
Oh, you're not going to it?
What is it that we're not going to? I don't remember
It's
the
a
name.
showcase, Bruce's Field.
The Bruce's Field Showcase.
Yeah.
No, I'm teaching. I
'Cause you
hadn't
were there
realised
you
when
were
I
there
agreed to teach that
last
it was
year.
Bruce's Field.
You were there last year.
And you rode there bravely.
I rode there last year, and I'm not riding there again.
Are you going to watch it?
Yeah, I'm going to walk and watch and do a bit of talking and signing.
Oh,
and
good for you.
I'm on holiday. Yeah.
Yes, I'm rather sad that I hadn't cottoned on that it was this weekend and I've got a clinic.
No, I just assumed you were doing the telly.
I am. Not Bruce's
But
Field.
not Bruce's Field.
No.
And William, you've ridden there a couple times, haven't you?
Yeah, I've had 3 guys there, yeah.
You jumped the tennis net.
Yeah, I've done it all. I've
Yeah.
done it all in all sorts of fashions as well. I've had one good run.
Right?
I'm gonna
I had
give you
one-
my description of that sort of
and then
eventing.
Hold on, let's
Can
do this. Yes,
Yes.
but let's take a break.
Okay.
And then I want you to give us your description of
Okay.
that sort of eventing, because that sounds like it's going to
I
be
might
a
have
good
lost
one.
my nerve by the time
No,
we take a
no,
break.
it'll be a really quick break.
And we can poke the bear.
We do have to say, because I did it again for the second show in a row,
It's
this is the
exciting.
Equibrew segment, but I was so excited
Equibrew.
that I had Lucinda and William here that
That's
I
okay.
neglected that.
Equibrew
So I
is
apologize,
good.
Equibrew. It is an awesome probiotic. You go to brickfieldnutrition.com, use the promo code JR24, and you get 20% off all of your Equibrew stuff. Rick, thank you. I apologize.
No worries.
All right, Equibrew. We're going to be right back after we check in with some sponsors. Looking to improve your style? Need a gift for that special client? Exceptional Equestrian's journey started with Cindy Lay. After retiring, Cindy began crafting halter and bridle charms, selling them from the berm of the Colorado Horse Park. What began as a part-time endeavor blossomed into a thriving business. With just her trusty Nissan Murano, Cindy traversed the country, attending horse shows from coast to coast. As demand grew, so did the business. Trailers turned into trucks, and trucks multiplied. Today, Exceptional Equestrian boasts 2 prime locations at the World Equestrian Center in Ocala. Their curated collection features premier brands such as Sam Shield, Equiline, 4 Horses, Ego 7, the Kenyon Collection, Vestrum, and Animo. From equestrian essentials to stylish apparel and home goods, they offer a diverse range of products. They also carry tailored Sportsman, Tipperary, RJ Classics, and a wide variety of home goods and tack. The dedicated team takes pride in providing top-notch customer service, from expert safety equipment fittings to crafting the perfect ensemble or finding the ideal gift for your trainer. Step into Exceptional Equestrian and transform your style journey with us.
Equibrew, now available in the USA. It's a live probiotic that you feed daily to your horses. The live microbes go into your horse's gut and cleans up the gut wall, creating a healthy gut system.
Equibrew is an essential part of my feeding program. My horses love to eat it, and it does a really good job of promoting gut health and also good behavior and great performances.
It's something I recommend for all of your horses, no matter what they do in their careers.
It's so affordable, I can use it on all of my horses in the barn, not just my top horses.
Order Equibrew today by going to brickfieldnutrition.com or calling 850-879-2649.
Grant Showalter has over 15 years of equine bodywork and saddle fitting experience. His technique allows him to identify and alleviate tightness in muscles. He uses trigger point massage to release points of restriction. Grant has over a decade of experience fitting and adjusting a wide variety of saddles. His expertise in equine physiology, coupled with a thorough understanding of the importance of a properly fitted saddle, allows him to quickly identify and correct any balance issues. Grant can also adjust your saddle on site. Grant works on all of my competition horses, and I have noticed a significant improvement in their performance at competitions and their overall way of going. Grant's based in Ocala, Florida year-round, but regularly travels to the surrounding areas. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 484-639-4454.
Hi, my name's Leslie Law, and we are a proud supporter of Jump for Joy. We've been using their portable cross-country jumps now for about 10 to 15 years. We love these jumps because, as you can see, they're very easy to move. It would only take another person on the other side, and I could place this fence wherever I wanted to very easily.
Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We are in our Exceptional Equestrian segment. We are still joined by the great William Fox-Pitt and Lucinda Green, so thanks for being with us. We would like to tell everybody Exceptional Equestrian is located at WEC. They have 2 big stores there. You should join them and buy some great stuff. They have really good equestrian apparel and some other African jewelry from
The Kenyon collection.
From Masamara.
Like this belt.
That's right. We segued right into it.
Yeah, Lucinda saw mine when I was in the clinic today.
Right.
And so
asked
have
me
you
about
been
it.
to Africa?
No, I haven't, but I've been to Exceptional Equestrian.
I tried to talk him into going on the offbeat safaris, and he said no.
You wimp.
No, that's totally fair.
You should. You should.
You really should.
I'll watch it on the History Channel. It's
It's
fine.
so much fun. Well, we left last, Lucinda, with you wanting to talk about your feelings of.
Oh.
You can still do it.
Okay, I have 2 words for describing this type of eventing, which is within 3 arenas with a little bit of a grass strip down the side where you go up and down once. Otherwise, you're in and out of the arenas, and I call it plastic eventing.
Ooh, I like it.
Or plastic if you're English.
feel like that was the same word because you're English, but yes.
Anyhow, what do you call it?
Yeah, it's a good question. I'm not quite sure I've given it a name. I'm calling it, becoming, word I use often with our sport, it's becoming very vanilla.
Vanilla, that'll do. Plastic vanilla.
Becoming very, very safe and sanitary and a little bit dull.
Okay, so with that said, it was just announced by the FEI that the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics format has been confirmed. It will be a short.
Yeah, how
So
dull is that?
what do you guys think of that?
I'm mortified.
All right.
I won't be there, but I'm mortified.
Yeah, it's
I'm
a big switch.
That is a leader. It's what our sport will become. We know we had changes ahead of Beijing. Was it Beijing?
Yeah.
And those changes are now our sport. We're going to end up with two sports. We've got to accept that. We've got to accept we've got our championship, 4-starry, slightly fancy pants sport, and then we've got our proper classic series sport with our Kentuckys, our Marylands, our Badmintons, our Burleys. That nearly requires two different riders. It certainly requires different horses. And I think we've got to embrace that. We've got to let's enjoy both. Let's enjoy our championships, but please, let's keep our classics, whatever you want to call them. Let's keep what we know and love as a 5-star.
So my question to you is this, because Rick and I got into this in the last show a little bit. Yeah, we almost had a sumo wrestling match. My worry is this, and I'm interested in what you guys think. When they got rid of roads and tracks and steeplechase, I remember, and I was supportive of the idea, but I remember the FEI, said, don't worry, we're getting rid of roads and tracks and steeplechase, but we're not going to do that for the 5-stars. They're going to keep it. They're going to do that. We're just getting rid of it for the Olympic Games, and Badminton, Burley, Kentucky, they're going to keep it. It's going to stay. And it didn't.
They kept it for 5 seconds.
Right.
I never even heard that it was going to stay.
So, do you fear, because I do you fear that this move to the shorts will end up at some point meaning that you're going to be doing cross country at badminton on Sunday instead of Saturday someday?
That interesting. I think badminton and Burley and Kentucky based will certainly fight for a little bit longer, but I think certainly no championship will be in that way now. I think every championship will end up being show jumping last.
Even the Worlds.
Even the Worlds. It'll all follow suit. Even Worlds hung in there a bit longer at 5-star, and now it's 4-star.
Right.
And I'm afraid it's the way the world is going. The modern world wants safety, wants security, wants everything slightly just down-tuned, and that's what's going to happen. But badminton and Burley, I'm afraid, we're going to have to fight. I'm saying riders, young riders, not old riders and has-beens, but the new up-and-coming 20, 30-year-olds are the ones that are going to fight. And to preserve what we love about our sport.
I agree with you, William. My question is, and I pose this on our show, we're going to a short format at the Olympics. What happens if all these countries that we're kind of, I don't want to say dumbing it down for, but making it less hard, get CR'd after show jump?
Get what?
Compulsory retired.
Oh, retired.
It'll be a jolly quick day on the cross-country day.
Right.
And maybe that's what they want. But I don't think they're that bad, are they? I think they can do anything. They can show jump. Where they have troubles on the cross-country. I think it's just a muddle running the team before the cross country and running the show jumping individual after cross country, right. And you're working out trot ups and objections and who's doing what. There might be no prize giving. I mean, forget being given a time in which you've got the podium to give the medals. Will eventing be ready?
Can I just ask what the format is? Because I thought it was show jumping last in both the team and the individual, but I think I'm hearing it's not.
So part of the issue is they're still, to be honest, kind of working it out. They've just basically come out and said, well, it's going to be a short. And what they've proposed is dressage, then show jumping, then cross country, then
That's the team.
then
then another
individual
show
show jump. So one of the questions that's come up is, what do you do if hypothetically you have a gold medal winning team member, wins the gold medal for their team, goes the next day or that afternoon to the vet jog and gets spun at the vet. Now they've won a gold medal on a lame horse and they aren't allowed to go compete for the individual. How's that going to look in our woke world, right?
There's lots for them to think about.
Right.
I can't. There's all sorts of. What happens if you knock down too many show jumps and can't go cross country, or you knock down too many and you then can't jump individually? I think it's jolly complicated, and I think
And a bit unnecessarily so, isn't it? Because I'm not sure things were broken in the first place.
No, I don't know whose idea is this. Is this LA's idea? Is this the FEI's FEI idea? Is this an IOC idea? Everyone's blaming it on everyone else. But we've got to deal with it.
Right.
We've got to try and present a picture that hopefully won't then become our sport. And if it does become our sport, it won't be our sport, will it? Because our whole sport is about show jumping on the last day with a horse that has been ridden well cross country, been preserved cross country, and is well enough, sound enough, happy, and feels good to jump on the last day and trots up sound. Now, will there be a trot up? I honestly, I don't know how it's going to work. Do you? I mean,
well, my feeling is that we and the Olympics don't go together anymore. And it's such a sad, sad thing to have to say.
we want to cling on as best we can to being
We
Olympics.
want to cling
I know
on
what
because
you're
there's
saying.
nothing like it, but they have gradually taken our sport and made it a different sport, which may have happened in time, but we haven't necessarily asked to make our sport different. And gradually it's being denuded of all bits that we love about it, and it's quite hard to explain what those bits are unless somebody really is involved in the ethos of the sport. But the
Quite an
cross-country-
interesting point. I'm going to interrupt you, but someone said the other day, would you rather have won badminton or Burley or the Olympics? And I had to think for a second. Of course, personally, I would much rather win a proper 5-star and proper cross-country. I'd rather win Kentucky than the Olympics. But what does anyone remember? They know who's won the Olympics. They couldn't care less who's won Kentucky or badminton.
I don't
It's
care
actually getting
what
that Olympic
everybody
medal
remembers.
is what matters in the real world. The Olympics does count, whether we like it or not.
And there's three people
important.
in every country that is going to get to the Olympics. 3 people. And every 4 years are going to get that chance to be remembered.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the sport is shredded.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the point
that's a
I've
good
made
point.
is I think we just have to be careful, right, as we decide, because I hear you, we have to cling to the Olympics because it is important, but I think we also have to be careful, do we really want the consequences of that so that 3 people, not even the best people in the world, 3 people from every country get a chance to go? Do we want to completely change the sport for that?
We already have.
I know.
It's done.
It's not necessarily done, because we could magnanimously withdraw from the Olympics as a sport, but nobody will ever do it. And mostly it's financial, because I gather, and I never knew this, that at the end of every Olympic year, the Olympics dole out money to all the different sports, and a great deal of the federations existing on that money paying the wages of everybody that is involved. So suddenly you have another whole outlook as to why you should stay in the Olympics. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
you're absolutely right.
Well, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and we're going to speak more because y'all are going to join us for one more 10-minute segment. Might be
No, two.
Two.
Yeah, you guys
All
aren't leaving
right.
yet.
We're here.
And we have spaghetti waiting for y'all after. So that's going to be good.
Can't
Thank
wait.
you, Exceptional Equestrian, for sponsoring this segment. We certainly appreciate it. And again, to Cindy Lay, who has a shop in Nairobi, in which she joins the tribeswomen in the Maasai, and she has them make these beautiful beaded jewelry. She gets it over here in the United States, sells it, and gives that back to the women at the Maasai. I think that's pretty
Brilliant.
cool. So thank you, Cindy Lay and Exceptional Equestrian. We'll be right back.
Looking to improve your style? Need a gift for that special client? Exceptional Equestrian's journey started with Cindy Lay. After retiring, Cindy began crafting halter and bridle charms, selling them from the berm of the Colorado Horse Park. What began as a part-time endeavor blossomed into a thriving business. With just her trusty Nissan Murano, Cindy traversed the country, attending horse shows from coast to coast. As demand grew, so did the business. Trailers turned into trucks, and trucks multiplied. Today, Exceptional Equestrian boasts 2 prime locations at the World Equestrian Center in Ocala. Their curated collection features premier brands such as Sam Shield, Equiline, 4 Horses, Ego 7, the Kenyon Collection, Vestrum, and Animo. From equestrian essentials to stylish apparel and home goods, they offer a diverse range of products. They also carry tailored Sportsman, Tipperary, RJ Classics, and a wide variety of home goods and tack. The dedicated team takes pride in providing top-notch customer service, from expert safety equipment fittings to crafting the perfect ensemble or finding the ideal gift for your trainer. Step into Exceptional Equestrian and transform your style journey with us. Jump for Joy fences are easy to move, lightweight, durable, and low maintenance. So we're out here on the cross country. We just finished over in the show jumping over the Jump for Joy fences. Had a great time schooling over them. They're really nice and easy to move, so we were able to adjust some things and really have the exact school that we needed thanks to the Jump for Joy fences. I love them. Order yours at jumpforjoyusa.com.
Aero helmets represent real change for equestrian helmets, offering patented new technology and an unparalleled level of safety testing. It is the only Snell-certified helmet with MIPS on the market. Aero visors are interchangeable, meaning you can wear your Aero 3 ways, with a formal visor, a sun visor, and as a skull cap. Our shimmable liner means you can customize the fit for your head and your hairstyle. Upgrade to Aero today.
Since 1950, Maison Forestier has been offering its know-how to design custom-made saddles for passionate riders. In 2016, Maison Forestier took a turn and expanded into the sports world with the goal of improving the performance of the rider-horse pair. You will find a professional, reactive, and fun team to answer your needs. And this is why I have chosen Forestier for all of my saddlery needs. Feel free to contact the saddle expert in your area for more information by visiting www.forestier.com. Hey, it's John here. I just want to let you guys know I got back from schooling at Magnolia Sands Farm here in Ocala, Florida. Their cross-country field is perfectly suited for a first outing on a young horse or schooling your upper-level horse. Magnolia Sands offers over 110 jumps ranging from starter to intermediate, plus multiple banks, ditches, and waters. They're constantly updating their courses and have even added new ditches and a starter ditch wall. Conveniently located in Northeast Ocala, Magnolia Sands has made it easy for riders and trainers with online waivers, Venmo, and PayPal, and even offer a golf cart for guests. MagnoliaSandsFarm.com. Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We're here in the Stressless Studios, and if you go to centerlinedistribution.net, use the promo code JR24, you can get 20% off of your Stressless supplement, and it is a great supplement, Rick. It calms and focuses your horse. It's awesome stuff. I use it especially on a lot of my rehab horses.
Yeah, it is very good stuff. And Betty Ledyard, it really is a great sponsor of ours, and we appreciate her
Absolutely
building the studio for us.
And actually, one thing we're going to get you guys to do is, before you leave, 1, you have to sign our banner, but 2, we're going to get a couple mugs, if you're willing. I'd love for you guys to autograph those, and then we're going to figure out some sort of a competition for the John and Rick Show audience to be able to win those Stressless mugs with the William Fox-Pitt
maybe
and Lucinda Green.
Maybe you can make some of that juice for everybody.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
Look at her.
Gonna get her to make me some anyway. It must work.
So we were talking about the Olympics, and Lucinda, you had a really good point, and I think you're absolutely right in that we have a sport, at least in this country, that is sort of part run by staff and a great, honestly, I do believe it's a great federation in the U.S. Equestrian Federation, and part run by volunteers. And so when you talk about funding from the Olympics coming back into the sport, of course that's going to play into it, right? Like, there's the U.S. Olympic Committee, and I'm sure it's the same in England and Great Britain. As they do well, as their sports do well, then they put funding back in. I know it's the same in Canada from my wife Jen, because she's Canadian and was involved in that a lot. The funding that federation or organization for all of these countries get is directly linked to how they perform at team competitions, and really the Olympics are the big one. So when we talk about as athletes in the sport, how do we want our sport to be? And I kind of lean towards your argument, Lucinda, of like, okay, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but we're getting awfully close to are the Olympics worth it? And I lean towards that, but that's really easy for me to say because I'm not employed as a paid employee that benefits from being in the Olympic Games.
What I'm told by those that know is that if we come out of the Olympics, there'll only be 4 or 5 major nations left that can afford to do the sport, and that nations will fall away and we'll just be left on our own and the sport will be gone. And I can't be sure whether that's going to happen or not, but my feeling is suck it and see. Get out there and try and make the damn thing work.
Like William said, we got to fight for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm a little bit playing devil's advocate here, but if you want to event is what we're heading towards, and I'm not even just talking 2028. Like I then think, okay, so then what's 2032 going to look like? What about 36? You know, and then it doesn't really matter to us eventually, right?
Exactly.
But at some point, then is it really eventing? And I know, you know, the counter argument is, well, they used to do dressage after cross country. Okay, so like, yeah, it did change. But I think, right, you get perspective the longer you're in something, right? And that's what you guys have, and sadly I have.
When did they do
Rick has.
dressage?
No, I'm
Like in
what?
the early 1900s. Yeah, no, for sure they did.
They certainly did. Dressage was the last
The
phase.
sport wasn't happening in the early 1900s.
Well, I'm just telling you.
Whenever it
what
was,
whenever
somewhere
it was.
around the
It was
early
in the
1900s.
20s.
The 19, yeah, that's the early 1900s is 1920. That's early.
Yeah, it was exactly the
Yeah, so
case.
it has changed a lot. So I'm not saying that change is terrible, but I think we need to be a little more thoughtful about what that change should continue to be, right?
Well, at the moment, we have no control. The Olympics, that aren't necessarily a horsey lot, are taking us and telling us what they want us to do. And they're not only just doing it to eventing, they're doing it to hockey, football, all sorts of sports. They're told they can only have X in a team instead of Y because they want more sports in, less beds needed. There's such an economics here.
Right.
It's
Sad.
It's sad.
It is a whole business, you're right.
Yeah.
But I do think being able to call yourself an Olympic sport is a feather in your cap that eventing needs to look after.
I agree.
There's some great sports out there that don't have an Olympic
There are,
connotation.
yeah. But if we can carry on our sport and live with the Olympic shortcomings, I think we should, rather than being too cocky and thinking that we can just
We
get
can
on
manage
and survive
without, yeah.
Because
Well,
I think it gives us gets support. It gives us, a place where we belong. We can be proud that we are an Olympic sport, and we can.
But how will that affect the sport?
We've got to have two sports, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
We have to have two sports.
And that's been talked about quite a bit. But I mean, back to your point, William, about all the dynamics that need to happen for 2028 to happen. As we get there, I think making that plan of how it's going to work and making sure that plan is going to be successful is actually going to have to either be beneficial or non-beneficial, depending on if you want to support it for the Olympics or you do want to support it for the Olympics. So how do we get there? I don't know. But one point that I made is that right now, all we typically run is the short format at every horse trial we go to now, right? We do show jump before cross country.
Yeah.
The only time we do the classic long format is at a traditional long format at the end of the season. So we've already married into the short format on a eventing basis, right?
I mean, in the UK, sometimes we do run a short format with a show jumping last, like at Chatsworth.
Right.
But that would be the odd event, or is that?
Yeah, not many.
Very unusual. It's
But
not
it
a
is-
particularly fair concept because the horse has gone cross country and then 2 hours later
Right.
he has to show jump.
'Cause
And
it's a
if
one
it's
day.
something like Chatsworth, which is like that,
On the same
it's
day,
not a
right.
particularly fair concept.
But it works well. It has people enjoy it. It's
Well, I'm not sure the horses have such a great time, and that's unfortunately
no,
what,
I think Chatsworth
what we
is,
must
is
be aware of.
quite tough in its own. But I think there is, not on the same day, I agree with you, but I think there is an element to the horses being ridden cross country with a view to competing the next day. I think, people in
Then
Olympic
you've really
Games,
got a 3-day event because a long format is 10 minutes and a short format is 7 minutes. You know, where's the difference really? If you have the show jumping on the last day, you've got to have a vet's inspection before, or horse inspection before you go.
Yeah, cross country.
So where's the difference? It's 3 minutes cross country.
Cross
you know,
country
the whole
will
thing
be
is
7 minutes before you blink.
Is what?
So cross country will become 7 minutes before you blink in sport, without a doubt.
In which sport of the two?
In eventing.
What, in even the bit we want to preserve?
Yeah.
7 minutes of badminton. What's the point of building it?
Well, I think I'm fighting for the 5-star status, but a 4-star and a long, whatever you want to call
I'm
it.
glad I'm as old as I am.
An Olympic. how far is going to be Versailles this year? It won't even be 10 minutes.
Where's this?
In the Olympics this year in Paris.
Yeah.
It's going to be 10
That's
minutes.
the Olympics.
But Paris not even going to be 10
Badminton
minutes.
isn't
Really?
going to be 10 minutes, but it won't be long.
And you know, it's all going that way. And I think the Olympics is already, you know, before you blink, it'll be 7 minutes, and you'll be jumping last. You'll be jumping.
Tokyo was 7 minutes
You'll be-
50,
You'll be jumping again.
Trash pile.
and that was a hot.
Tokyo was,
Tokyo was 7:50.
but you had a steeplechase.
Tokyo was.
Oh, sorry, not
This
the old
Tokyo.
Tokyo.
Yeah, this Tokyo was 7:50.
That- exactly.
Not
yeah.
the 1964
No, I think it really was-
Tokyo.
I was super confused there for a
wasn't
second.
around for that.
All right, I'm
Where
back.
are we right now?
I'd forgotten the new one.
Yeah, there was another one.
Just happened, William.
Just happened. Well, we were talking about
that?
the 4 short at Defender this year, and every year that they've introduced the 4 short is run in the classic format. So it's dressage, cross country, show jump, and they do jog. That works out successfully. But my point was, it just is run in the short format with show jump, then cross country, and that's how we see it every time we event. So.
Yeah. Yeah,
Thoughts on that?
it's an interesting time to be involved, isn't it? Because I feel like you're at a crossroads for sure right now.
Well, I really think we've got to fight for our sport. I think that if, you know, what do the future riders want? Do they want it to become a one-day event? Do they want to keep the 3-day event concept? And that's got to come from the young riders up and coming for the future. Us lot are going to be gone, and we'll just be giving some riding lessons and doing our best to help. But it's got to come from a bit of passion within the riders, and they've got to do something, not just rely on somebody else to do it, somebody
I agree
else to
with
sort
that.
it out. They've got to stand up and be counted. You know, we know historically event riders say very little unless there's a wrong flag or a funny turn. They don't kind of give that feeling of actually what do they want for this sport to become? What is the sport they want to compete in 10 years' time?
Yeah,
I think we need to take
And the
that
riders
further.
have got to be much more proactive. I'm banging on about that, but I know in England no one ever says anything. You know, if you look at committees, whether it's FEI, eventing committees, regional committees,
To be fair,
there's no blinking riders doing it.
I'm just going to stick up for Harry Mead, who does an
He's
awful lot
probably
of
the
work.
only one. Well, I've
but
done my
he's got
fair
about
share.
14 people on his
And
committee.
he's brilliant, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
They don't communicate with him unless he asks them.
Well, that's always the way.
Yeah.
You have to have a
but
very
that's gotta
strong.
change. That's
It
gotta
won't.
change.
You have to have a very strong leader of those committees who goes out and seeks out opinions of people.
Aren't you a chair on something?
Yeah, and that's what you have to do. You have to go out like
Exactly.
Harry apparently
Well,
does.
let's talk about it. Let's take a break.
Yep.
We'll bring it in, and then I think to William's point that how do we energize and how do we do that? How do we become a voice?
It's got to come from the riders.
All right, so let's take a break. Thank you to Stressless for a beautiful studio. Go to centerlinedistribution.net. Promo code is JR24. We'll be right back.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
Welcome to The Hunt. The pursuit of greatness awaits, and we're on a mission to conquer our goals. Every step we take, every lift we make, we are driven by an insatiable hunger for excellence. There are no limits, no boundaries that can hold us back. We may have different objectives, but we share a common purpose: to push beyond our limits and achieve the extraordinary. Like a pack of fierce and unstoppable warriors, we stand united, a community of relentless individuals who refuse to settle for mediocrity. Obstacles, they're just stepping stones on our path to success. We welcome them, learn from them, and rise above them. We celebrate each other's victories and lift each other higher, inspiring greatness in one another. At CrossFit eFit, we don't just hunt for success, we embody it, breathe it, and conquer it. Prepare yourself, because this isn't for the faint-hearted. This is for those who crave the thrill of pushing beyond the ordinary. CrossFit eFit, on the hunt.
Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. And thank you so much, William and Lucinda, for staying with us. We want to do a special shout out to Horse Trailer Pros for being the title sponsor of the show. 101 episodes, 5 seasons. Matt, you've been terrific to us, and everybody out there with horse trailers, take them in, get them annually maintenanced. Matt does a great job, Matt and Max. You know, it's a terrific place to go. I go with our trailers, and we just appreciate it because we've been able to survive 5 years because of Horse Trailer Pros.
Absolutely, they've been amazing. They've been amazing. So back to our conversation, and this is just a little bit of insight that when you said, William, it's up to the next generation, just the thought that immediately popped into my head is, it is, but also I think they need a little bit of guidance from our generation, because I remember, and not any of the kids I have now, but I remember not too long ago I had a very talented rider here in the farm riding, and I explained to her what a long format used to be with roads and tracks and steeplechase. And I said, the first time I went to Kentucky, I trotted for 18 minutes. I galloped as fast as I could on a circle, chasing at steeplechase fences. I missed at fence 2 and nearly died, and kept on kicking around. And then I pulled up and trotted, and I had all my shoes, thank goodness, and my horse trotted for another 35 or 40 minutes, and I went into the vet box, and I jumped off my horse, and they cooled it out, and then the vet said to me, "You look good, hop back on." And I said, "What?"
Gotta go.
I didn't think that was going to happen. I didn't expect to have to go, because I was sure you were going to tell me I couldn't do this after all that. And I jumped on the horse and I smoked around cross country. And when I explained to her everything that was involved with that, and also the lead up to it, you know what the answer was? Well, I wouldn't want to event then. That sounds like a lot of work.
That's exactly
right. So I think we do have to leave it to the next generation to decide what they want, but maybe we need to make sure
they want what we want.
Yeah, that they are aware of what the consequences are, and that are they aware of what the sport really was? Do they appreciate the history of the sport? Right? Like, there's a lot of young people in this sport who you say to them, like, "Oh, we're gonna, have I've thought it with this show. We're gonna have this person on the show, that person on the show," and they're kind of like, "Okay."
Well, maybe
they don't follow it as much as you would think.
Maybe they want the sport to change.
I think a lot of them do.
Well, in which case, tell everyone what they want, and whatever we all feel is irrelevant.
No, we're totally.
They've got to create something that they all want. But I'm of the feeling that a lot of people might want shorter and faster and all done quicker and quicker and quicker. But I think there are people that still want eventing as a sport that they've grown up with, and everyone thinks that somebody else will preserve it. And I think you're right, we've got to give them guidance. The people that know and are involved now need to give the next lot support, but the next lot have also got to look for support. They can't just rely on it just being sorted by somebody else, because otherwise it will be sorted by our FEI committee. And I have been on the committee for 4 years, so I've seen what it's like, and things are very much changing, and not always for the better. Everything is becoming so sanitized and so sanitary and so safe. It's just becoming a bit boring, and they don't want that either.
Right. So do you think part of it could be, and it's hard, right, because you get your perspective from where you live, but do you think part of the issue could be that we have not done a good enough job in this sport promoting the history of the sport? And I think of this because I watch American football, and every year they have this big to-do for the National Football League Hall of Fame, and they just honor all the past greats of the sport, and it's this big deal. And I don't think as a sport that we do a good enough job of that. So then it gets kind of forgotten very quickly.
I know, who the hell is Lucinda Green?
Right, I know, that's what I'm saying. Just some lady I met in Madison, Wisconsin.
I'd sort of turn it a little bit on its head, this conversation, because I feel we want to understand history. I'm not going to say it's a bad idea, but I'm not sure it's what's going to win it for us. I feel you've got to reckon that you've got a sport that used to have a ratio of 3 for the dressage, 12 for the cross country, and 1 for the show jumping. 3, 12, 1 was in the rules until the mid-90s, the last century, the mid-90s, when it wasn't possible to keep that spread any longer, 3, 12, 1. So it went, and there is no ratio now. So it may be on a good day 6, 6, 6, but on a good day. But what we have to, I think, put out there is that the thing that separates us from dressage and show jumping that I have seen at top level for 7 Olympics, because I've been lucky enough to commentate at all 7, we are never going to get near that level. So we have our USP, our unique selling point is cross country. That is what people come to watch. That is the heartthrob of our sport. I don't think there's very many people that wouldn't agree that they get out of bed in the morning because they get that thrill from that wonderful connection that the horse and they need to have in order to have the confidence to do cross country.
But not to interrupt real quick, and then I wanted you to get back to that. I will tell you that is the exact argument as to why they want to go to the short format in 2028. The argument is from the promotional side of the sport that they want to showcase cross country. They want that to be the thing. They want to get the dressage and the show jumping done, and they want their big day to be the last day cross country.
Well, good. I mean, that is really important.
For sure, but that's where we're going. Yeah. That's the argument. So the argument you're making to preserve our sport, they would be the people in charge of the television
committee.
I don't understand how they think that's our... Yes, cross country is exciting, but it's also exciting to see those horses go out and riders strive to tackle a tough course, and then come back and have the soundness and fitness to come on the last day to do a show jump round. That's our sport, not just the cross country.
Well, just playing devil's advocate there, and then I'm going to turn it over to you two. The argument from the promotional side of the sport would be, yeah, but when they tune in on Sunday afternoon to watch the final of eventing, and the viewers have just been watching show jumping last week, and now they watch our horses show jump, they don't understand what we did the day before. Because it's
and a lot of spectators, if I can just quickly put this in,
go please,
that aren't in the horsey world, they don't realise that we use the same horse.
Correct.
So they watch the show and think, well, that's a bit pathetic. You know, they don't realise this horse has done X miles the day before. It doesn't sell itself very well to the non-horsey people.
But it's tricky what you're saying about the cross country being what it's all about, and then you're watching the Olympic eventing and it's finishing in a little poxy show jumping ring, jumping 130 and looking very boring.
Yeah.
But it's often shown carrying on from the cross country, so the horses are being shown maybe twice on the same program, and you are not watching too much show jumping, I hope, to make it so boring. But it is, we do want it to be about the cross country, and I don't believe that by running the cross country last is what puts the weight on that, but I can totally understand the other side.
It's just difficult because you're talking about a pretty uneducated audience.
Yeah.
That's how modern pentathlon kind of ruined the sport for a lot of other equestrian sports.
Anyway, that's how the Olympics has gone, so we've got to live with it. But let's not let the mainstay of the sport go that way. And, you know, we're having Kentuckys and Marylands and Badmintons and Birdies running that way. It would be, I think it'd be a huge sadness and loss of the, what is the challenge in our sport.
So, and I, absolutely, well said. And as we're getting down to the end of the show, one thing that we haven't done a good job about at all is, William, so you're going to badminton? What do you got?
What are you talking about? I'm going to have a go at badminton.
Which horse?
Grafenacht.
Yeah,
also
she's
rode
awesome.
in Maryland, is a lovely horse. and she did badminton last year as well. So we're going to go and try and do a bit better.
Awesome.
And then there's Lucinda.
She's not going to badminton.
Well, unless I was thinking about this, if William wins badminton this year, then you might have to come out of retirement to try to win Burley, so it stays even.
Well, there's always Lissa. There's always Lissa.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think if he wins badminton, the one worry I had was Todd. And he came back into the sport after
Yes,
a 10-year hiatus.
and won it straight
he won
away.
badminton. I thought, he could get me. Anyhow, to my great good fortune, bless him, he's retired.
So have you been, are you going to Paris to commentate this year? This year. Is that a surprise?
No, I don't think so, but I have got the very, very lucky call-up.
Good.
I know, that's why I want
Well, we
to
couldn't
practice.
bear it without you because you were terrific
So
to listen
that
to.
will be your 8th Olympics or 7th.
I think
That
it
will your
might be
7th.
actually, yeah. I've been at it an awful long time. And the really funny thing, which is I don't think people find it that funny if they're really into show jumping and dressage, is that I've done all 3 sports. And I love doing them, but of course I don't know nearly as much about show jumping proper.
You know.
I have to say I'm going to just give myself a tiny boost because I do feel very insignificant when I'm commentating on show jumping and dressage. But Eddie Macken, who was probably the greatest rider of our time show jumping, he won I think 5 Hickstead derbies on boomerang with no bit in his mouth, bitless. He rang me, I don't think he's ever rang me. And he said after Tokyo, that was the best commentary I've ever heard show jumping because you didn't tell us what we'd done wrong. And the point was I didn't know. Right. So I wasn't going to say it.
Yeah, but you have to remember you do know.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty high-tech stuff, that show jumping. I'm in awe.
Well, you do a great job. I always love watching it when you're commentating. So
that's
well
really
done, you.
appreciated.
And
thank you.
thank you to both of you. I know this was a long time to sit after you both worked your tails off all day. So I've done the clinic
Thank
thing,
you
and
very
I know
much.
at the end of the day, this is not something you would love to do. So I truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course we would do it for you.
Yeah, I know,
We're
right?
very happy.
Yeah, I forced you because I got.
Well,
Rhonda
plus
to
there's
make
spaghetti. That one over there makes great spaghetti.
So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna let
Okay.
you guys go to the house and get dinner, and we're gonna just finish up a couple of things here. So
We're gonna
thank
talk about
you.
you.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about you a little bit more. So thank you very much. We really appreciate it. Good luck at badminton. Good luck commentating, and thank you guys for watching the show. Thank you to Horse Trailer Pros for sponsoring the show. We truly appreciate it. You couldn't do it without you guys. So as Rick said, make sure you go in and get your horse trailers maintained. And we will be back in 2 weeks with another awesome show. Also, don't forget, March 24th, everybody, we're having a party to celebrate our 100th episode. By then it'll be like 102 or something. Yeah, I kept putting it off, and finally I said, let's go. So it's happening. We'll see you then. We have an awesome show for you guys today.
The greatest eventer of all time.
Good news for the sport.